That's my little girl, Taylor.
Linny Carney and her 9-year-old daughter Taylor are both asthmatics.
I'm feeling quite nervous about the whole situation, as you can imagine, being a severe allergic asthmatic. I have a lung function of 38%. I've been in 3 comas from the flu that people say just a flu. You know, it's very worrying. What did you use to make that?
A little bit of salt.
Even before the official guidelines on social distancing, they decided to stay home as much as possible.
I've been teaching Taylor how to cook. She's a pretty good cook anyway. Doing the schoolwork that the school has sent through.
Linny's big concern is a continuing supply of vital medication.
The pharmacist told me that there was just none, and he rang around, and we've got 9 chemists in Lismore and all gone.
Bit wheezy today.
On a bad week, I can go through a Ventolin in, say, 5 days. So that I could potentially only have, 10 days worth of Ventolin supply.
There is extreme pressure when the consumer base and behaviour is to over-demand medicines.
If we didn't have the medication, they wouldn't be able to survive. That's their pancreas doesn't work, so this is doing the job of their pancreas.
Christy Archer's 12-year-old daughter Eden and her son Bodhi, who's 15, both have type 1 diabetes. They need insulin medication every day, but she's struggling to have prescriptions filled.
The pharmacist came out and was very apologetic, but had said that they're unable, they have no stock of Novorapid, and they did not know when the new stock was going to be coming in.
So this one here is just, look, I've been a pharmacist for 32 years. I have never seen anything like this in terms of the panic and the fear that we're seeing at the pharmacy coalface, the stockpiling and the misinformation.
Sydney pharmacist Caroline Diamantis says staff are under enormous pressure as they explain shortages and restrictions to customers.
We can't get thermometers, we can't get Panadol, which I consider a general medicine, and then we can't get things like Ventolin. People have decided that they should have one up their sleeves in case they get the virus, then they would be able to breathe better. This is misinformation and it's actually caused such a problem.
Pharmacists have welcomed the government's move to limit dispensing and sales of some prescription medications and items such as Ventolin and children's Panadol.
There are sufficient supplies in the country to deal with our normal demand curve at the moment, and then there are increases being made to deal with the increased demand that is happening right now.
Medicines Australia, which represents manufacturers and suppliers of medicines, says while there are localised delivery shortages due to strong demand, there is adequate medication stockpiled in warehouses, but it won't reveal exactly how much is in reserve.
Manufacturers have increased production and manufacturing of supplies. They have brought orders forward. They have increased their orders from their overseas manufacturers, and there are those supplies and those demands and those orders are being met.
When we manage our way through this crisis, we have to have a very close look at our import dependencies and say, are we resilient enough? Because if we import 90% of our medicine supplies, we have very little control over that should they get interrupted.
In a report released last month, a not-for-profit economic research group chaired by John Blackburn questioned whether Australia's stockpile of medications is adequate.
The reality is we don't know how vulnerable we will be. It depends on how soon production returns in China and what happens to the rest of the supply chain. For example, 2 weeks ago, India, that produces a large amounts of the world's medicines, started to restrict their exports because they were concerned about the supply of ingredients from China. So it's a very complicated global system.
My message to people hoarding Ventolins would be, you're being very, very selfish to people that need them like myself. This could cost a lot of people lives.
Linny has since managed to buy a single Ventolin inhaler, but her stocks as well as her spirits have been raised by a hand-delivered gift.
Just went to check my mailbox and look what some lovely person has dropped off.
thanks whoever gave me this. Muchly appreciated. Feeling the love.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.